Right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. We're here at the Center for Contemporary Printmaking in Norwalk, Connecticut. Today, we're going to have Falk Töpfer give an artist talk. He is our current artist in residence, and he's here at CCP as part of our international exchange residency with the city of Dresden in Germany. So we're looking forward to hearing about Falk's projects, as well as his sort of historic body of work. He is here until December 3rd, so there's still more time that you'll be continuing to do your projects. But I think today we'll get an idea of what we'll be seeing by the end of your time here, and learn more about kind of how you've arrived here. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Well, thanks everybody for coming out tonight, or for noon. It's not night. So, yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming out, but also thanks to the CCP for organizing all the stuff and for having me here in this artist in residence, which is a lot of fun actually, and I enjoy it much. So thank you for this. And I thought, well, I could do like a small talk today, talk a little bit about my work, what I'm doing, where I'm from, and who am I, right? So yeah, let's get started. And I think I choose this picture first because this is already a painting I made in Dresden. And as you know, I'm from Germany, Dresden, maybe you've heard about it, it's in the east of Germany. And I choose this picture to be the first picture because it connects already America and Germany, because I've made a travel years ago to the Valley of Fire. And I don't know if it's in California, I guess, or maybe Utah, or I'm not sure about totally, but it was a nice trip, and this was the first painting that came out of this nice trip. So I thought it would be a nice entry into this talk, but let's get started. So as you know, I'm from Dresden, and to give you a small glimpse what Dresden looks like, this is Dresden. It's famous for like all these old buildings like the Church of Our Lady, and as well the Art Academy. The Art Academy is the place where I did study almost 20 years ago, so time flies. But if you ever get the chance to visit the city, come on over. It's really nice, and we do have good food like Kartoffelsalat, maybe you know the potato salad, which is really famous, as well as Eierschecke, and it's all about the food. So last one, Christstollen, of course, which is really good, and already learned that you can get it over here, right? So Kim told me. So yeah, anyways, come on over, and I thought let's start with a short movie I've made, because when I started at the Art Academy 20 years ago, I thought, oh my God, I hope I don't have to paint. But it took me a long time to get into painting and to really love it. But I started actually with some small animation movies I did back in the days, back in the beginning. And I thought that could be a nice entry, because you can see also Dresden, and the idea was, or the topic was, Dresden got 800 years old. You say that is 800 years old. So it was celebration day for 800 years of Dresden, and they asked a variety of artists and filmmakers to do like small films that will be shown in the local cinema, which could not have been longer than 90 seconds. So everybody needed to make a film that took only 90 seconds. And well, what we did, we had this idea of, what about Godzilla coming to Dresden? And this is what came out of it. So have fun, and I hope everything will work. With the sound especially. Yeah, so this was, thank you. It was made with a friend of mine who's an artist as well. And as you can imagine, it was kind of controversial because we used all these old buildings that have been bombed in Dresden because Dresden was bombed in the Second World War. So it was kind of controversial, but what we wanted to show is not to always put some glitter on things that have happened, right? So we thought we should do it and just, yeah, show it. And it was in the cinema, it worked out. But now let's get to painting. And yeah, that's a small view in my studio in Dresden. And I started with this painting because I think it shows all the main things that I'm interested in while doing painting, art, printmaking, whatever. So what I'm interested in is like really trying to get an eye on things that are barely overseen in the daily life kind of thing. I don't know if I think you know what I mean. So sometimes you pass by so fast, and I'm convinced that you can find all this beauty and all these amazing things which you can do art of everywhere. It can be here, it can be outside just by taking a walk. And actually this was while I was driving with my bike to my parents' house. And I saw these white horse, and as you can imagine, it looked totally different. But I had this idea, oh, this white horse somewhere in the street, I have to do something out of it. And the second thing that is really interesting, or where my interest lies in, is as well to take care of, to change these colors, as you can see, right? So what I'm really impressed by, and this is another connection to the United States, are these American painters from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that use all these strong colors. Like they are Canadian, but I think they're famous here as well, like the Canadian Seven, they are called, I guess, right? Or the Canadian, you know, these landscape painters. It's a group of 7 or something. Yeah, and you know, and Wayne Thibault and of course Edward Hopper. That's really like something I really admire, and this is also a big influence on my work, and that's why it's always taking me to the United States and to see all these famous painters over here. Yeah, let's go on. So what I try to do as well is really to focus on things that you barely oversee, like this, how do you call it, caravan or something? Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah, and to also change the colors to make it a little bit more stick out. And yeah, and also, how to say, I'm always on this edge between, or I try to be on this edge between abstraction and realism. So what I think interesting is if you can see where it comes from, but it's not like a photo or something. So it's what I'm interested in is to transform something into something a little more, maybe you would call it naive or a little bit off, but I think you can get more out of it if it's not like precise on all these details. So I try to get rid of all the details that are not necessary. And this was my first trip to, oh no, actually my second trip to the United States. And I've been to LA and I've seen this nice backyard. And it reminded me a little bit of David Hockney and things like this, which is a big influence, of course, as well. So this is really what I'm trying to look for in a painting or when I do a picture. So like really get rid of all the things that are not necessary, that huge shapes, huge contrast, and get rid of everything. And it's also, yeah, the connection to America, I think, and it also has this reference to this pop culture, you know, with all these pink and like really popping out colors, and that's something I do really like. Because in Germany or in Europe, we have this tradition of really a long landscape painting as well. But in general, it's more like this, like brown, ochre, gray, greenish kind of things to, you know, to be a little bit less, how to say, outstanding or something. And I try to do the opposite, right? I'm influenced as well from comics and stuff like this, and that's something that's really or where my interest lies. Yeah, so this is also a thing I made in Lakewood, which is near Cleveland. So I've been to Cleveland for an artist in residence as well, which was really fun. And so this is really a small one. And yeah, that's what I'm working on. So we've already talked about this painting. So I also like to find a little bit, how to say, like these kind of absurd things maybe, or things you won't find every day. I mean, you would just pass by this house, but if you look closely, you can see that, oh, this car does not belong in this house. So this is the connection I always try to find between maybe here and in my place. So this car was really famous in America, I think in the 80s. And I discovered it in Radebeul, which is a small place near Dresden. And I thought, these two things don't really belong together, right? But I thought it's really nice. And so I thought, okay, let's do this. Let's paint it. So all of these things come together. And what as well in my interest is also to combine shapes, as you can see, right? We already talked about this, like abstraction, and I'm always interested in doing things like this, which is like a shape. So these things, so it's all about having a picture, but also showing some things that's maybe behind, or that stays on top. I don't know if I've explained it properly, but it's so this balance between realism and abstraction. So that's something that's really important for me. And sometimes I get photos from friends, or I see something, and then I do a drawing, and afterwards it will turn out to be a painting. Like if you look closely at the left one, it will be the next picture as well. You can see on the left. So I also like to transform these typical colors that have been there. So like use my own and try out what I can do out of it, right? Because it's much more fun, right? To use your own stuff. And this one, I choose this one because I think you all do work as well. So you always have this kind of maybe key pictures or key paintings or whatever you would call them. So this is like a thing where I stick to for almost 10 years now, to like see things. And this is actually at my house, and I was looking outside of my terrace or at my door, and there was a cat sitting just between these laundry I was drying outside, and my bicycle was there, and I thought, oh, this is like a nice situation. So I did a drawing and later a painting out of it. So the drawing I'm using, it's not always about the drawing. The drawing might be like a bridge to the painting or to something else. And that's, so it's kind of a, how do you say, like a dirty little helper or something. I don't know how you call it. So, and then it turned out to be a print as well. So I like to really work on one motif, is this the right word? To do it in different styles and to try out. I have another example later. So I thought this would be a good point to make a short break and show you a short film I've made when there was the pandemic in my studio. So we had a lot of time and people were giving money for doing videos like this. And it's like 2 or 3 minutes and you can just see how I work. Yeah. And how my studio looks like actually. Yeah, so this is, you get a short insight how it looks to be a painter in Dresden. But to be honest, I don't have this studio anymore. So like everywhere, you get kicked out and gentrification comes across. But still, I've got a small studio in Dresden. And as you've seen as well, I really do love animals. So like cats, and some people ask me, hey Falk, are you like a cat painter or something? I said, no, actually it's not about the cat. The cat is just like a symbol, or like something that how to say Stellvertreter, like something that stands for something else, right? It's not about a cat or an animal. It's about being alive. It's about this metaphysical thing. I think you get it what I mean. Yeah. Anyways, back to painting, back to drawing. So this was the first thing, one of the early stuff that went out to be a print as well. So I had this bunch of drawings, as I told you before, because sometimes I draw before I do the painting. So I had these small little drawings, and a friend of mine, he worked for a print shop as well, and he said, you know, Falk, I'm doing this editions from time to time. I love to make books, and we have this like series of books, and I already had 5 artists. Do you want to do a book? But it's just about black and white. So we decided, okay, we have to print these things, and it turned out to be a small book, as you can see on the next slide. So it's this book, and then you can see all these 7 black and white prints, which was a lot of fun and got me back into printing, actually. So I don't have it with me because it's been only 20 exemplars, 20, how do you say, 20 pieces. So they're all sold. So, and another thing which would be probably interesting for you as well is, after it turned out so well with his friend working at the print shop, we decided, okay, let's do another thing. And we worked on this thing, which is called Unterwegesrand, which is kind of a joke of a language because it's a word that does not exist, but it means to be on our way, kind of thing, to be wandered around. And we made this series of 3 prints, each 3 colors, and it was also inspired by landscape. So as you can see, some of the things I'm doing are more abstract than others, as we have been talked about. So, and this one is another example I would like to give you how I work. So here it's really nice to can follow up how I'm doing my process. So this was a photo a friend of mine just sent me, just like, hey Falk, hi from the gas station. And this is a really old gas station in Dresden. It's also under Denkmalschutz. You know, it's a historic site, so it's protected by the government. So it's a really nice gas station. And I found this picture so amazing, and it had this kind of mood, but also winter. And I thought, oh, this is nice with all these lights. That's something I have to make out of it. So I made again a really silly drawing, which I thought, oh, you can't use it. But I still had this idea, okay, you have to do something out of it. So it turned out to be a painting as well, after all. And then I thought, yeah, everybody likes this picture. There should be something in it. So I decided, okay, let's do a print of it as well. And when I've been to Coventry 3 years ago, I had an artist in residency. And I decided, okay, let's do a print out of this as well. And it turned out to be a silk screen. It was like 20 layers or something. And I thought, oh, Falk, you will never do 20 layers again. It's such a horrible experience. But it was also fun. Of course, it was fun. But now that I'm working back on silk screen again, I think the next project will be 20 layers as well, because I never reached to do like 10 or something. So yeah, this was a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, but also this one was a photo I wanted to show you, because it's landscape. For me, is not only landscape that you see like watching at the sea or going to the mountains or something. It can be totally something different. Landscape can be also something that's in a room, you know, like this one. I've seen it in the museum in Chemnitz. Maybe you've heard about Chemnitz. It's a small city near Dresden, and it was famous because it was the culture capital in Europe this year. So you might have heard about it. And I've seen this nice, how to say, interior, but it turned out to be totally something else. So I made this drawing, and you know, as I've told you, I don't I don't mind inventing stuff to it. So I thought it needed some rest of, no, not some rest, you call it some belongings from human beings. Is this the right word? Probably, yeah, it is good. Because that's something that's really important in my work, to have always this connection to the human beings that have been there, the people that have been there. Oh, not to show them, but to see, okay, there have been people. And it turned out to be as well a painting. And so this is the different steps that I generally do. So this is another painting of an animal, a dog I've seen in a shopping mall, which I found interesting. And this one as well, which is a little bit off topic. So yeah, as you can see, I really like to reduce it to the max, probably. That's how you say it. So yeah, reduce all this stuff. This is a landscape painting out of close to Dresden, and maybe this might be good for you to know. I think you already know it, but what I'm looking about or looking in a painting is not that I want to show this certain place. It's written over there. It's Boxdorf, which is a certain place in Dresden, but it's not about it. So if you don't know where it is, doesn't matter. It's just like metaphorical landscape or something. So I would try to transport the mood of it, what are the things I've seen, this feeling. That's really important, because I think you have a lot of art that does not deal with this, but I think it's also important to make yourself a little bit not uncomfortable, but like angreifbar, touchable, probably touchable. So that's something I'm not afraid of doing. So if someone would say, hey, this is, how do you try it? Is it about your feelings or what? I say, maybe. So that's what it was. So one of the last things I want to show you about my paintings is an exhibition I've done in Dresden, where you can see how I arranged stuff. And I thought, okay, I have all these really colorful paintings on the wall, and I need something else. And as I love to cycle around in the landscape in Dresden around it. So I'm a really big bike fan, and when I've been to New York, I've seen the famous artwork from Duchamp, and I thought, okay, maybe I could do like a BMX version of Marcel Duchamp that could fit as well to my painting. So that's how I arranged it, as you can see, and it's like a small funny comment on art and artwork, and yeah, all the colors that I use actually. So this might be like a small, how to say, reference to Hockney. Of course, he did all these pools, and I said, okay, come on, you like his colors, you do a look here, so you can also do like something similar. And actually, it was inspired by a real place as well, which was an old discotheque in the 90s, because in the 90s it became really famous to have these huge discos everywhere, like 3,000 people, and they had a pool outside that disco. And I went there, and the disco is not there anymore, it's abandoned, but you can still see the pool because some people are living there, and they have like a small brewery in it, and when it's summer they jump in the pool. So the pool is still there, but the disco has gone. So this one is like a pool, you call it pool Freibad, which is near my place. You can see again the arrangement of stuff. And what's funny about when I did this presentation, I recognized that all these places that you can see here in these paintings are actually places from Dresden, or my town. So it's not about that you need to know this, but I thought it's kind of curious, funny, and it's also, I think that's how I work. I pass by, see things, and then try to do something out of it. So like, yeah, they're all from Dresden. Exactly, that's, yeah. That's my purpose. So, because I love it. And that's, for example, is the terrace of my parents' house in the wintertime. But it could be also somewhere else, right? It could be in Russia or it could be in California. You never know. So it's not important where it is. Just maybe for me it might be important. And here it's also funny to see the connection between California and Dresden on the left, right? This is the one in the States and this one. Just funny. So yeah, as well, this is a painting. This is like a small cabbage a friend of mine has in the countryside. And this was in Coventry. And what interests me, but like I already said, it's also like what light is doing in an environment, or what light stands for. Like this. This is my dad in the garden, and I try to reduce it as much as I can again. So these are, like, to give you a small overview what I'm working on today or these days in Dresden. These are some of the paintings I'm doing. This is Schwarzenberg, which is a town in the Erzgebirge. It's the small mountains near Dresden, close to the Czech Republic. This is again some winter. This was a small kiosk I've seen around. And as you see, we were talking about it already, but as you see, I always like to keep some belongings from human beings there, as you can see over here, because without it, it would just be like a description of a certain place. But I'm not interested in just telling people what architecture or what trees have been there. So it's more about this combination of human belongings and architecture and landscape and nature and certain situations, I guess. Abstract one. And I see a lot of my stuff while riding my bike. So I'm always in the summer, I'm on my bike. So this is the last picture. This is the newest one, which was as well on a bike tour. And I found it really interesting to see how the mountains went, and to also, you know, I think funny might not be the right word, but I'm fine when someone says it's a little bit, how to say, it's a little bit off kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm really interested in doing this shapes and stuff, or what can I, you know, like when you put coffee in the coffee machine, something else comes out, and hope it's tasty, hopefully. Something like this. Okay, so this is the first thing I wanted to show you, but as you might have seen, and I thought it's also important because I want to talk about who am I and what I'm doing. It's not only painting. You might have heard that I'm also doing like these shows. Oh no, first step before I'm talking about my shows is I just wanted to let you know what I'm going here in the Center for Contemporary Printmaking in Norwalk. So I'm working on this one, which is not finished yet. We can have a look at it later if you want to, but it shows again how I try to work, because I've been to the Blue Ridge Mountains. I think you know them quite well. It's near Washington. They're so beautiful. And we drove with the bike, the scenic drive, like for 5 or 6 hours, and then the sun went down, and I just made this small photo, and I thought that's kind of, I don't know, there is something. It has this certain mood which I really do like, and there's this car with this red rear lights, and I thought I have to do something out of it. And so that's the project I'm working on right now here in Norwalk, and let's see what comes out of it. I don't know. No one knows. So let's see what it's an adventure, and it's a travel, I guess.
Were those the real colors? The sunset was really that color?
Yeah, it's real colors. It was really amazing. So yeah, you have all these amazing landscapes actually in the States. It's really great. Hi, thanks for coming. So okay, and the next thing is that you might see I'm doing all these shows in Dresden, and sometimes I ask myself, what is the connection between these paintings and the things I'm doing on stage? I'm doing like small shows, hosting stuff, doing interviews on an open air cinema in Dresden. And this was just a funny thing because we thought, we would need like a funny poster or something. So we took Michael Jackson and have redone it, like that, yeah. So, and this is something I'm doing in Dresden as well. I have this small late night show in Dresden, and it's actually like an ironic late night show or a commentary about American late night shows. That you have them a lot. I see them all the time. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, all these late night shows. And I thought it could be funny to turn it again into something else. And the idea is to invite people that live close by. So I'm not inviting VIPs or prominent prominent, you say it like this. Prominent people, you say it like this? Yeah, prominent people. Okay, cool. So it's more about what is your neighbor actually doing. So I invite people that I know, like for example, I invited my friend who's a magician. I knew something from the Semper Opera, a dancer from the Semper Opera, but I also invited an undertaker, like in this show, which was really interesting. So it's a 2-hour show, and I give you, in the beginning of the show, there's always this trailer. So it happens in a cinema. It's around 150 people that come out, and it's in a really nice old cinema in Dresden. And this is the trailer that, yeah, that starts before the show starts. So have fun. Yeah, and that the show starts, right? So I always wondered what might be the connection, but the thing is, again, like we were talking, I think it's this connection again. It was not by purpose, but it just happened between the United States and Dresden and Saxon and Germany. So I don't know. I think probably I'm half American or something. I don't know. Based on that. And this is also the connection I wanted to show you, because these are the flyers and poster I made for the show. I think this is where the painting and the show comes together, because I'm really into it, how the setting should look, how the design should be, and yeah, you can see it's part of the deal. So it's part of this whole process. People recognize, oh, it's not just made like in 5 minutes. It's also about this. So the poster itself should be like a small artwork, and then people should come, oh, I want to see this because it looks kind of crazy or funny, or what is it? So yeah, as you can see, this one was, for example, when I invited a curator. You say curator? From the Albertinum, when Caspar David Friedrich, you know him, the painter, he got 200 years last year. So there was like a huge exhibition. And yeah, I invited the curator over, and I thought Bob Ross would be a nice idea to promote. And I had someone talking about the Beatles, Undertaker. Yeah, things like this. So the next show will be in December in Dresden, if you'll be there on the 18th. And it will, and actually it will be an American show. So I have like an American special. But
Can we see it on YouTube?
probably, let's see. I'm working on that. Yeah. So, and here you can see I'm in the show. It's not only about the interview, but I'm also doing like small stand-up things, and I'm yeah, I'm showing these drawings that I made like comics. You can see it's like small stories that I'm telling, and I have all these illustrations. And again, that's where I think the thing on stage and the thing I'm doing in the studio comes together probably. Yeah, here you can see like how it is, how the setting is. And if you're still into it, I have a look. What time is it? Oh, do we still have time? Yeah. So if you want to see another short movie, this was made when I had The Undertaker as a guest in my show, and we thought, oh, what could have happened if the death itself has some problems while finding the right person. So that's what it's all about. I think it's in German, but I think you will understand because he gets a call from his boss telling him, oh, he has to take another turn and get another person. And so he kind of gets angry, and I think you'll see what it's all about.
Ja, grüß dich. Nee, ich bin schon im Dienst. Jetzt war ich kurz Pause und dann geht's weiter. Dann hol ich einen Töpfer. Ja, nach dem Mittag dachte ich irgendwie. Wie, nee, 5. Juni? Da macht er die Falk Töpfer Show. Ja, da würde ich eigentlich auch gerne hingehen. Nee, dann machen wir das so, da hole ich mir den später. Dann lassen wir den noch leben. Da ist doch noch Zeit, der läuft nie weg. Ja, dann mache ich heute einen anderen, gibt ja genug. Ja, ich schnapp mir das Fahrrad und fahr los. Hinten raus, da ist so schön grün und ja, das mache ich jetzt. Tschüss! Jetzt baue ich das Frühstück zusammen. Gestern liest. Chef? Ja, nee, ich bin unterwegs, wie besprochen. Wie? Ja, das ist jetzt nicht dein Ernst. Ja, klar, meine Frau. Weißt du, ich war jetzt für 2 Stunden raus, damit du mich dann anrufst und sagst, nee. Ich hatte mich auch ein bisschen drauf gefreut schon. Ich dachte, ich komme da jetzt hin und dann, ja, dann nehme ich den nächsten von der Liste, na klar. Und der wird sich auch bedanken. Da wäre eigentlich erst morgen dran. Es muss ja auch noch was werden, dass man noch innerhalb ein bisschen über den Monat angeht. Alles klar, ich ging's los.
So he got the call that he needs to get the next person, so he has to do another drive. Yeah. No.
So, das müsste es eigentlich jetzt sein.
That should be it.
Hallo. Jetzt ist er nicht da. Das nervt. Jetzt bin ich da angereist. Das ist der Typ da. Das ist doch wahrscheinlich morgen erst. Das heißt, wenn er morgen erst kommt, morgen bin ich aber nicht da. Das heißt, dann kann ich den auch nicht abholen. Der ganze Tag im Arsch. Der Chef hat gesagt, der ist da, jetzt ist der nicht da. Mach den, kümmere dich mal, der muss heute sterben. Gut, klopfe ich an die Tür, schon 3 andere
He's
Leute
complaining
nicht. Ist der
about
auch nicht da. Schritt 1, man fährt hin und organisiert das. Schritt 2, man kommt hier an Schritt 3, die Fahrt noch dazu. Jetzt bin ich da, Typ nicht da, wie soll denn der jetzt sterben? Was ist denn los? Mann! Gleich, zack. Und Jordan, hinten muss ich hinterher.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing while when I'm not printing or not painting. So, and I thought I should close with a really short last movie, which in my opinion combines again, like we've seen in the beginning, Dresden, and you can get an idea of what Dresden looks like a little bit. And it's actually like a commercial for a non-profit organization, because I think have the same problem here. Downtown, all the shops are dying after the pandemic, right? People don't go to the shops anymore, they order online and stuff. So we have a huge problem like this in Dresden, because it feels also everywhere it's empty, You walk through all these shopping malls and these streets and everything, it's empty. And you say, hey, Falk, we are doing this project to get creative stuff back into these old shops. I think you have similar things probably. So this organization asked me, hey, Falk, could we do like maybe a small commercial video, what we are doing with these lost places? And we all said, okay, I have an idea. What about if the guru comes to Dresden and uses his spiritual energy to revive all these shops? But the truth is, the non-profit organization has already done it. So, but he doesn't get it. But I think it's a funny video to see at the end. And Robert, who's the camera guy, we made it together, will be here next Monday. So if you have questions for him, he will be here. You can ask him as well. And I say, have fun. And this is the last thing we're going to see. It's really short.
Geschlossene Geschäfte, verwaiste Innenstädte und menschenleere Fußgängerzonen. Viele Städte stecken in einer Abwärtsspirale aus Leerstand. Bis jetzt.
Wir von der Landeshauptstadt Dresden sehen uns jetzt gezwungen, auch ungewöhnliche Maßnahmen zu ergreifen.
Es gibt ein Riesenproblem in Dresden und das ist der Mangel an spiritueller Energie. Ich habe eine einzigartige Methode entwickelt, die Karma-Assistenz. Die Technik ist uralt und unglaublich mächtig gegen Leerstand. Aber Geld spielt dafür nur in der materiellen Welt eine Rolle. Eine solche Welt ist mir fremd. Es ist ein Wunder. Und es funktioniert. Ich sehe schon die ersten Fortschritte auf dem Boden. Du musst deine Augen öffnen, um es zu sehen. Die Leute kommen zurück. Die Stadt ist wieder mit Leben gefüllt. Ich habe das Licht gesehen. Dresden ist bereits in guten Händen. und hat den ersten Schritt getan. Schauen wir, was die Zukunft bringt.
Yes, that's what it's all about. So, thank you. This was my presentation. And I don't know, I think we still got time for some questions if there are any. So just let me know if you've got a question. Yeah.
Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
Like, you may have talked about this, but I was wondering if you could talk about the relationship between paintings and prints, and what each one brings and how they cross-pollinate.
Yeah, I already tried to explain this explained it in the first half, but maybe I can do it really quickly again to show it. Where is it? Have a look. You can see it over here. So I do it really quickly. Have you seen this one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is like I think what it's all about between the printing and the painting is that I really love the idea of how to say reduce it absolutely to the max, because if you paint you can always do these small in-betweens, and what I do like about printing is that you really have to reduce it to, I mean, it's 20 layers, but it's not like painting, and that's some idea that I really do love, and to work on it like probably layer it together, and that's something I really do. And I think also the process, because it's so slow in comparison to a painting, makes you think about what you see right in front of you, and this is something that exactly what comes back and forth, I guess. So that's something which I really do like about the process of printing, actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Following up on that, are they about the same sizes?
Oh no, in general the printings are much more smaller, so it's more like this, the printings, and the paintings are between, like, you have inches, right? I don't know how much that would be in inches, but it's like,
Twice as much.
yeah, probably.
So, and also your paintings are very opaque, flat areas, and so are prints. So I'm just curious, do you paint in oil? Do you like to get the luster and values of painting? Because printmaking gets those flat shapes even better.
I didn't understand what you mean with this question.
Asking, do you prefer the way you're using oil paint?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering, because the shapes are very flat, like printmaking, do you like the oil paint because it adds another sort of dimension with the oil paint?
Well, what I do like about oil painting is that you have this possibility to make small changes in one shape. So it's still really abstract, but you can really be really delicate with different colors in one, let's say, like this. So that's something I do like. Does that answer the question? Yeah. So that's something I really, so there is a lot of, I think, parallel, how do you call it? Parallels between painting and printing, what I'm doing. Yeah, I do. We have some examples on, I think over there I can show it to you later. Yeah. Yeah. More questions? Kim, yeah.
Are there any locations around here, now that you've been here in Norwalk for the past few weeks? Are there any places that have jumped out to you as things that are inspirational?
Absolutely. I've been on Monday, I made a small walk to the shop right over there to Stop and Shop, and I've seen this amazing diner which is called Postro Diner, and this is amazing because it was dark and it was light inside, so I had this parallels again to this gas station or other stuff I'm working on. So I think that probably could be the next next big thing, painting all these diners. Yeah. More questions? You're more than welcome. Ask questions. Yeah, that's good.
How often do you have these shows in Dresden? Is it monthly or?
Well, it depends, because the show that I'm doing, my own show, this late night show, is twice a year, because it's such a lot of work. It's not possible to do it more often. So it's twice a year. But I have different people that ask me to host shows, like small film cinemas or like a speech or somewhere. And this is quite often, so it's almost every week somewhere. kind of thing.
You're also a musician. Not sure if you ever brought that up. How does that also intersect
I
performing and your painting?
what was the question?
Does your music also overlay with your painting and performing?
Well, I think it's more about what comes along with this music. So like these artwork things. So for example, I don't want to stress you out, but for example, we made a new record, and me and my friend, and so it's all about the artwork. That's the fun for me. So, but I don't know. Probably there is like a parallel as well, because what we do like in music as well as in my painting is to reduce stuff. So it's really simple songs, really simple stuff. I can show you, but I think probably we're already over time. So
I write things too. I apologize. But who does your drone work?
oh, I've got that's a good question. Yeah.
I mean, do you lay out what you want to happen first, or is it kind of a collaboration of?
It's both. It's a collaboration. We have these ideas, but in general, it's really spontaneous. We have an idea what we want to film or what we want to do, and then we go to a certain place. And the guy I'm working with, he's a camera guy. He has all this stuff to work on, and he just says, "So let's do this with a drone, and let's just do that." And so it's really spontaneous, and it's here, right in the moment. That's what we do.
It was very. I mean, it was so professional watching the depth.
Ah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
then zooming up and following you on.
Yeah, he is professional. Yeah.
Your humor is awesome. So did the deaf guy get the person or not?
He did not. He did not. It was a little bit difficult to understand, but he did not. So he was so angry in the end.
Just lock the door.
Just lock the door. Yeah, and I think we can just, more questions maybe. If not, I can kick you out with the music video I've made with my band. This is my friend Max, and he is a musician. And so we made a music video some years ago, and I think this is a good way to end this talk. And we don't have to watch the whole thing because it's 5 minutes, but you get a glimpse of again about what it's all about. So, and actually, my band is called The Equipment, and the song is called Unter dem Vulkan, which means Under the Volcano, which is a book by an American writer, as you probably know. But let's have a look. So this is the last one I'm going to show you. Yeah, so if you want the equipment to play in the States, let me know. And thanks for coming. Thank you. You can do it like this.